All right, so now we're going to talk about not the power of sleep. We are going to talk about social engagement, clubs, organizations, mentors, networking, and friends. And I'm just realizing that as we talk about this, I have my Todd bottle here. And we've talked about this at the beginning of the class, how it's important for you to be known by people. The three things that will make you successful in life are what you know, who you know, and mindset. And they're all super important. They're all equally important. So I got a little tea here, and we're moving. We're moving from this house to a new house. And this is the only, well, there's a wine glass here, and then there's this glass. So I brought some hot tea over from our other house, and that's what I have in here, hot mint tea. So social is super important. Social is super important. And it really will determine your success in life. And so you really want to cultivate your social skills. And this is coming from somebody because of the traumatic event I survived when I was young. And I had that PTSD and depression and anxiety, and I had a fear of being attacked by other people. This is coming from somebody who was challenged socially when I was young. Like, I really struggled when I was young socially. And so I really had to grow in this area. And I've seen other people who are really gifted socially, and I've seen how it has defined the success in their life. And I've also seen in my own life how my success has been hindered, right? My progress forward has been hindered because I didn't have the social skills I needed when I was younger. And so that prevented me from, accomplishing things and just enjoying life more, right? Enjoying other people and enjoying life. And so that's really important to be able to cultivate your social skills. And so to do that, you want to be engaged socially. Like, when I was younger, I kind of had the perspective that all I needed was what I know, not who I know. And so I was really focused on the what I know and really wanting to learn stuff and spending way too much time studying. But I wish somebody had said to me when I was in my college and university journey that, hey, Todd, you're a little too far out here on, putting time in on what you need to know. You also need time on who you know. So bring that pendulum back to the middle and balance what you know with who you know, and enjoy life. Enjoy relationships. You don't have to work all the time. I wish somebody had said that to me. And then that would help me be more successful in all areas of life, just to enjoy life, be more relaxed with everything. All right, so I just want to illustrate this. How can you get engaged? There's clubs, there's organizations. You want to get to know your professors. It is your responsibility as the student for the professor to know your name. So put your name on your laptop or on your water bottle and sit in the first or second row and be engaged and ask questions, right? It is now cool at college or university to be passionate and enthusiastic about life. Adopt that perspective wherever you happen to be. Like, it's cool to me. This is my perspective. It's cool to be passionate and enthusiastic and engaged with life, not to be like indifferent and like you don't care and you wish you were somewhere else. Like, fine, go be somewhere else, right? Like, that's not going to create any type of it's not going to endear you to somebody if you have the attitude that you're indifferent and you wish you were somewhere else. What you really want, is to cultivate that passion, enthusiasm, and engagement, and also to have that perspective, that mindset that this is actually really cool. And if you look at people, like for me at least, when I look at people, I love it when I come across people who are passionate and enthusiastic and engaging and are engaged in life. And so that's like, I think about YouTube, right? When I see YouTube videos and I see people who have those qualities, it's like, it's engaging for me. It creates enthusiasm and passion for me. And so you want to have that perspective, that mindset, that it is cool to be passionate, to be enthusiastic, to be engaged, to ask questions, to be curious, to sit in the first or second row, to ask questions of your professor, to have your professor know you, have your name on your water bottle, even say to your professor, say, hey, I put my name on my water bottle, so that when you're looking out on that sea of students in the class, you always got somebody, you know their name. You can say, hey, I had a professor explain this to me one time, that it's really helpful for a professor to have students who do something like this. And so I thought that's a good idea. Now I'm doing it. So just wanted to let you know that, that's my name and I want to introduce myself to you. So you could do something like that with your professor and then they'll understand, right? Like, okay, this is somebody who wants to cultivate a relationship. And those relationships will benefit you in life. So you want to be engaged in your classes. You want to be known by your professors. You want to get involved with some sort of club or organization. You want to cultivate mentors. You want to network. You want to cultivate friends. And there's a couple of I heard this saying about friends one time. Let me see if I can remember it. Friends for a season, friends for a reason, and friends for life. I don't know why I'm getting a little bit mixed it up. It's really sweet to me. But, like there's different levels of friends. And so understand that and appreciate that. And I've also heard social circles described as concentric rings. Like in the middle is you. And then like there's that inner ring, that inner circle, whoever's in it for you. And then there's like that next ring, and then the next ring, and the next ring. But you should have friends, who are just casual acquaintances and that you enjoy, and be friendly with everybody. Costs you nothing to smile and say hi and to wave, right? And so, casual acquaintances, friends for a season maybe, and then friends for a reason. I'm going to be friends with this person because it's going to be helpful to me in my career, straight out, right? Like I definitely want to know this person. And of course, also enjoy other aspects about the individual. But, I'm intentionally going to cultivate this friendship because I know this is a good person to know, like they are going to be a rock star attorney. And I need to know a rock star attorney in my life, right? So like, all right, cool. I'm going to make this person a friend, and be selective about your friends, who you really kind of choose as your inner group. Choose people you want to become like. And so, sometimes that means choosing people that, you aren't used to choosing, right? And so you want to choose people that you want to move towards. And also, as you start to grow socially and move in different social circles, you'll start to grow internally and psychologically, and you'll start to see different ways of being in the world, and it'll grow your perspectives of the world. So just really consciously, proactively cultivate social relationships. And just to illustrate this, right? Like, I'm just a community college instructor in California, but one of my friends is a venture capitalist in the Silicon Valley who's super successful, and he's made hundreds of millions of dollars. And he's owned significant, maybe billions of dollars. He's owned significant shares of billion-dollar companies. Like I know one company he owns like 11 to 13%. I can't remember, and it's a $1.75 billion company at its last valuation, and he owns like 12% of it. And I know somebody else who is Elon Musk's, personal investment banker, right? And so like you don't have to be a rock star to know rock stars, and you never know when you meet somebody who they know and who they can introduce you to. And that's the way the world works. The world really works on relationships, and we take care of people that we know. And so you really want to, have good relationships, and because you're going to take care of people, but then people are also going to take care of you, and that's what a tribe is. That's what a tribe is. And so it's like the modern tribe. In the old days, in our evolution, there's 50 of us who were hunters and gatherers, and that was the tribe. But today the tribe is not as clearly defined, in the old days, it's just those 50 out there in the wilderness all by themselves, or on the savannas, or on the plains, or wherever they were, right? But today it's like you'll still have your 50, or it might be 200, right? But you'll have your 50, but they won't be defined by the only people around. There'll be that person over there amidst all those people over there, and that person over there amidst all those other people over there. Those will be your 50 or whatever. And there's an interesting study, there's an interesting concept, and I'm going to go to Gemini here. What is the concept that we can only know 50 people or something like that? There's some name for it. It's like a sociological or anthropological theory or perspective or whatever. I love that I could just be like totally casual with Dunbar's number. That's what I was thinking of. So Dunbar's number, the commonly cited maximum number of stable relationships is 150, right? You could know 150 people, and you got 5 close friends, 15 good friends, 50 friends, 150 meaningful, stable relationships. Like I haven't talked to this person in 3 months, but I could stop by their house and have a chat with them if I wanted. And 500 acquaintances and 1,500 people who you can recognize and name. Wow, that's a lot. All right. So to illustrate this, recently at the college, I'm the faculty advisor to the Startup Club, which focuses on technology and entrepreneurship. And we got a grant, and I'm going to illustrate the importance of social engagement and getting social. We got a grant to go up and tour the Tesla factory. And so we could take 48 students and 50 signed up. And I just want to show you some pictures of that, right? But 150 signed up. We could only take 48. But then I'm just thinking here, there's like 5 people who didn't show up on the morning of the field trip. But also, it was surprising to me, that more people aren't in the club and more people aren't like, wow, they're doing cool stuff. I want to be part of that club. And so we went up there and then we met the tour guide, and like I now have contacts at Tesla, that work there at the factory in Fremont, California. And so I just wanted to show you a couple of pictures. I can't show you that picture. I want to show, here's how I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it like this, okay? I want to show you a couple of pictures. And so here we are driving up there, and then here's the tour bus. I took the pictures that don't identify students, right? I took those pictures out here. And so more pictures here, right, of the Tesla factory and Tesla's mission. And after you go in here, you can't take pictures because it's the factory. And you have to sign a non-disclosure agreement to go in the factory. So here I am with a fellow colleague professor, up there. And then we went to the Intel Museum and went around the Intel Museum. And this was a cool quote by one of the founders of Intel. And then we went to the Apple headquarters, has a store, and there's stuff at the store and they have a coffee shop at the store. So we just stopped by Apple headquarters, and there's stuff like on this wall that you could only buy at Apple headquarters at their store. And then grabbed the bus and we came back home. But it was like an amazing trip, and it was a great time, and we built relationships, and I got to know some of the students better. And still I'm surprised, like, if I was a student on that trip, I would consciously sit near the professor, like within today, knowing what I know, within a couple of seats, like 1, 2, 3 rows back, so that I can engage in conversations. And I had great conversations with the students who were like near me and around me on the bus. And so it's an amazing thing. You get to meet people and you go on great adventures and do things which aren't part of class curriculum when you get engaged socially at colleges and universities. So really get out there and get involved in a couple of different organizations and do stuff and get to know people and practice your social skills and have fun. Try to have fun, because as Dr. Seuss says, I think he says something along these lines, if you're not having fun, you're not having fun. I like that phrase. I think of thing 1 and thing 2. I can't remember the exact phrase. If Dr. Seuss never said that, that's now my phrase. If you're not having fun, you're not having fun. I think Dr. Seuss said it's fun to have fun. All right, so that's a little bit about being social and growing that social area of health in your life.